My husband's line when we were young, he had been married before, I had been married before, but I was ready to get back in the game. And he was just ready to get back. And when I said, well, what about, yeah, we were together.
Get ready for the most exciting legal showdown on television. Judge Judy returns with a bold twist in her new show, HOTI. For the first time ever, 3 sharp, powerful judges preside over the same case, each bringing their own unique perspective to the courtroom. It's a heated battle of wits, as no one escapes the fiery wit of Judge Judy. From her unexpected personal challenges, including her shocking divorce after 13 years of marriage, to this groundbreaking new format, HOTI will keep you on the edge of your seat. This is courtroom drama like you've never seen before. The Unthinkable Divorce of Judge Judy, a heartbreaking tale of grief and unresolved expectations. Judge Judy Sheindlin, the indomitable queen of courtroom television, has long been known for her sharp wit, no-nonsense attitude, and ability to resolve even the most contentious legal battles. Millions of viewers have tuned in over the years to watch her preside over cases with unmatched authority, earning her a reputation as one of the most influential figures in the legal world. Yet, despite her unwavering poise in the courtroom, Judge Judy's personal life took a surprising and heartbreaking turn when she filed for divorce from her longtime husband, Jerry Sheindlin, in 1990. This unexpected split shocked the public and left many wondering how a marriage that appeared so solid could suddenly crumble. The reason behind their divorce lies in the profound impact of grief, unspoken emotional needs, and the inability to navigate an ever-changing relationship dynamic. The beginnings of a love story, a surprising first encounter. Judge Judy's relationship with Jerry Sheindlin began not with love at first sight, but with a fiery encounter that would eventually lead to a lasting partnership. It was 1976 when the two first met at a lawyer's hangout in New York City. Jerry, a defense attorney at the time, was unwinding after a long day, and in the middle of a conversation with a journalist from the New York Post, Judy walked up to him. Far from offering a warm greeting, Judy pointed her finger directly at Jerry's face and demanded to know who he was. Her bluntness caught Jerry off guard, and he didn't hesitate to respond. "Get your finger out of my face," he retorted firmly. While it may not have been the most romantic of introductions, something about their interaction sparked an interest between the two. Despite their rocky first meeting, Judy and Jerry began to spend more time together. The initial tension slowly gave way to a blossoming relationship, and their bond deepened over time. Judy was captivated by Jerry's polished appearance, specifically his shiny shoes, which she later revealed as one of the reasons she found him attractive. However, their journey to love wasn't without complications. Jerry was still married to his first wife, Suzanne Rosenthal, although the two were separated. This created an emotional roadblock for Judy, who could not understand why Jerry hadn't yet finalized his divorce. Frustrated with his indecisiveness, Judy gave him an ultimatum: don't speak to her again until he took the steps to end his marriage. Jerry, clearly taken aback by Judy's firmness, eventually complied. In 1997, after years of separation, Jerry officially divorced Suzanne, and he and Judy married shortly thereafter in a small courthouse ceremony. The two blended their families. Jerry brought 3 children from his previous marriage, while Judy brought 2. Their shared life together seemed poised for success, with both of them thriving in their professional careers. The impact of loss. The death of Judy's father. The idyllic image of their marriage, however, would soon be shattered by a devastating loss that would forever alter the trajectory of their relationship. In 1989, Judy's father, Murray Blum, passed away. Murray had been more than just a parent to Judy. He had been her champion, her greatest supporter, and a source of emotional stability throughout her life. His death sent shockwaves through Judy's world, leaving her feeling bereft and unmoored. Murray had always encouraged her to be different, to stand out, and to challenge the norms of society. His belief in her and his unwavering support had been cornerstones of her emotional well-being. After his passing, Judy was left with a profound sense of emptiness. She felt as though a vital part of her life had been ripped away, and the grief she experienced was overwhelming. For the first time, Judy was forced to confront her own vulnerabilities and the fragility of life. In the wake of her father's death, Judy's emotional needs grew, and she sought comfort from her husband, Jerry. However, what she found was not the support she so desperately needed, but rather a growing sense of emotional distance between them. A struggling marriage, emotional disconnect, and unspoken expectations. As Judy grappled with the intense sorrow brought on by her father's death, she reached out to Jerry, hoping that he would provide the emotional solace she required. However, Jerry, unsure of how to offer that support, struggled to meet her needs. Despite his best efforts to console her, Judy felt that his attempts were insufficient. She confided in him that she had spent years taking care of him, but now, in her time of grief, it was his turn to care for her. But Jerry, overwhelmed by the weight of the situation and unsure of how to proceed, faltered. He had always been the one to receive care and attention, and now, with Judy in mourning, he was unsure of how to navigate this unfamiliar role of providing the emotional support she needed. Judy's expectations grew, and she grew increasingly frustrated with what she perceived as Jerry's inability to understand her grief and provide comfort. Jerry, in an attempt to resolve the tension, began asking Judy to be more specific about the kind of care she needed. He was bewildered by her vague demands. "Just take care of me." And, despite his earnest attempts to fulfill her needs, Judy's expectations remained elusive. As Jerry tried to understand how he could better care for her, he became more confused, and Judy's frustration continued to build. In a moment of emotional exhaustion, Judy threatened divorce. Jerry, seemingly overwhelmed by the situation, responded with a challenge. "Oh, yeah? I dare you." That moment would prove to be a turning point in their marriage. The divorce, shock, and repercussions. The following day, to Jerry's shock, Judy served him with divorce papers. The abruptness of the decision left Jerry stunned. He had not anticipated that the relationship would end in such a dramatic fashion, especially after more than a decade of marriage. Despite his initial disbelief, Jerry ultimately signed the papers, marking the end of their marriage. The divorce was a public shock, especially considering Judge Judy's highly public persona as a strong and decisive woman. For years, she had been a role model for couples navigating their own legal disputes. To see her marriage unravel in such a personal and heartbreaking way was a jarring reminder that even the most seemingly solid relationships could falter under the strain of unaddressed emotional needs and grief. The public reaction to the news was mixed. Some expressed sympathy for Judy, understanding that grief could have a profound impact on even the most resilient individuals. Others speculated that their high-profile careers, which kept them both constantly busy, might have played a role in the breakdown of their marriage. The legal community in particular was taken aback, as the couple had long been seen as a symbol of stability and partnership. Grief and marriage. A complex dynamic. Judy's divorce from Jerry Shandlin underscores the complicated nature of grief and its effect on relationships. Research has shown that grief can profoundly impact communication, intimacy, and emotional safety within a marriage. When one partner is grieving, The dynamics of the relationship often shift, creating tension and misunderstandings. In Judy's case, her grief over her father's death led to a sense of isolation and frustration as she struggled to communicate her emotional needs to Jerry. Studies have shown that during periods of loss, individuals may experience a wide range of emotions, including helplessness, anger, guilt, and resentment. These feelings can spill over into relationships, causing even the closest of couples to experience a shift in their connection. Judy's need for emotional support, coupled with Jerry's inability to provide it in a way that felt meaningful to her, created a chasm that neither of them was able to bridge. A journey back to love. Despite the painful end to their marriage, Judy and Jerry's story did not end in bitterness. After the divorce, both individuals took time to reflect on their relationship, their needs, and the complexities of their emotional lives. Over the years, their bond would evolve, and both found new paths to healing. In the years following the divorce, Judge Judy would continue to rise in fame, becoming one of the most iconic figures in television history. Her professional success did not overshadow her personal growth, as she worked to rebuild her life and embrace new relationships. Judy found new love and happiness, while Jerry continued to thrive in his own way. Despite the challenges they faced, their story serves as a poignant reminder that even the strongest among us can struggle with the complexities of love, loss, and personal expectations. Judge Judy and Jerry Shinlin, A Journey Through Divorce and Reconciliation. The love story of Judge Judy and Jerry Shinlin is one that spans decades and is filled with unexpected twists, challenges, and ultimate reconciliation. Known for her no-nonsense approach to the law and her commanding presence on the courtroom stage, Judge Judy, whose real name is Judith Sheindlin, has been a household name for years. But behind the public persona was a complex and deeply personal story of love, loss, and second chances. From their first meeting in 1976 to their divorce and eventual remarriage, Judy and Jerry's relationship offers a fascinating glimpse into the dynamics of love, marriage, and the pressures of balancing career and personal life. A rocky start, first meeting, and initial struggles. Judge Judy and Jerry Shinlin's initial meeting was far from romantic. In fact, their first encounter was far from love at first sight. They met in 1976 at a lawyer's hangout in New York City, where Judy, at the time a prosecutor, approached Jerry, who had just finished a case as a defense lawyer. The interaction began with Judy pointing her finger in Jerry's face and demanding to know who he was. To Jerry, her bold and somewhat abrasive approach was more than a little off-putting. He responded firmly, asking her to remove her finger from his face, and their brief exchange ended with no sparks flying. Despite this unpromising start, Judy and Jerry eventually began to spend more time together. According to Jerry, he was initially confused by Judy's behavior, but as they continued to interact, they discovered mutual respect and began dating. Judy herself admitted that she found Jerry attractive, particularly noting his shiny shoes, a detail that piqued her interest. Yet, the relationship wasn't without its complications. Jerry was still married to his first wife, Suzanne Rosenthal, even though they had been separated for some time. Judy's frustration grew as she struggled with Jerry's hesitance to divorce Suzanne. She couldn't understand why he wouldn't finalize the divorce, and the situation became tense. Finally, after much deliberation, Judy made a bold move. She told Jerry that she would not speak to him again until he filed for divorce. She made good on her word, avoiding Jerry until he eventually took the necessary step and finalized his divorce in 1997. A new beginning, marriage and family life. With Jerry's divorce behind him, Judy and Jerry married in a courthouse in April 1997. This new chapter in their lives was not without its challenges, though. Both brought children from their previous marriages. Judy had 2 children from her first marriage, and Jerry had 3 from his previous relationship. Together, they blended their families and set out to build a life in New York City. They managed to balance their personal and professional lives while raising their 5 children. And for many years, it seemed that their relationship was strong. However, in 1990, just a few years after their marriage, cracks began to appear in their once seemingly perfect relationship. The catalyst for their struggles was a personal tragedy that would forever change the course of their marriage: the death of Judy's father, Murray Bloom. Murray, whom Judy described as her champion and greatest supporter, passed away in 1989. His death had a profound impact on Judy, who was visibly shaken by the loss. She had always been very close to her father, and his absence left an irreplaceable void in her life. The grief that shattered their marriage. Judy's grief over her father's death put immense strain on her marriage to Jerry. As she navigated the difficult journey of mourning, she began to feel unsupported by her husband. She expressed to Jerry that she was not receiving the care and attention she needed during such a vulnerable time. Judy, known for her strength and independence, was used to taking care of others. However, in her time of need, she wanted Jerry to step up and care for her in return. She told him that she had taken care of him for over 12 years, and now it was his turn to take care of her. But Jerry, unable to meet her needs in the way she desired, became confused and frustrated. Despite his attempts to comfort her, Judy felt that nothing he did was enough. Their communication began to break down, and instead of seeking help, Judy buried herself in her job. As a judge, she spent long hours in the courtroom, dedicating herself to her work. This further distanced her from Jerry, who felt isolated and helpless in the face of her grief. The emotional chasm between them deepened, and Judy began to contemplate the possibility of divorce. She told Jerry that if he couldn't change and meet her emotional needs, she would have no choice but to end their marriage. One night, in a moment of frustration, Jerry asked Judy what she specifically wanted him to do to take care of her. He suggested actions like feeding her, carrying her, or keeping her warm, but Judy's response was vague. She simply said, "Just take care of me." This lack of clarity left Jerry feeling lost and unsure of how to proceed. Eventually, Judy threatened divorce, and Jerry, feeling helpless, responded with a challenge: "I dare you." The next day, Judy served him with divorce papers. It was an unexpected and painful moment for both of them, and it marked the end of their marriage, for the time being. The aftermath: a surprise reconciliation. Following their divorce in 1990, Judy and Jerry maintained a respectful relationship. Despite their separation, they continued to interact and even began to miss each other's company. Jerry, in particular, admitted that he felt the absence of Judy's presence in his life. For the first time in years, they were not seeing each other daily, and it was a strange and unsettling experience for him. He soon realized that he missed her more than he had anticipated. Judy, too, recognized that she missed Jerry. Although she didn't reach out to him immediately, their continued interactions eventually led to a dinner date. At the dinner, they spoke as old friends, and Judy shared her frustrations with dating other people, detailing one particularly disastrous date in which she had told her suitor to reconsider his dinner order due to his weight. Jerry found himself amused by her candidness, and, more importantly, it was in this moment that he realized Judy might be open to reconciling. A year after their divorce, in 1991, something unexpected happened. Jerry picked Judy up from the family court, and they walked through downtown Manhattan together. As they strolled, Jerry expressed that he no longer felt comfortable spending time with her without being married. he told her he wanted to marry her again. Judy, amused by his proposition, responded by suggesting they could get married right then and there. Jerry thought she was joking, but they walked to the nearby clerk's office, where they requested a marriage license. To their surprise, they were handed the license immediately, bypassing the usual 24-hour waiting period. Without hesitation, Judy called her best friend of 40 years to serve as her maid of honor, and Jerry contacted his son to be his best man. They then called upon a friend, a New York Supreme Court justice, to officiate their wedding. In a simple ceremony, Judy and Jerry remarried, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship. The couple, now in their 40s, had a renewed commitment to each other and a vow to never let go again. A lasting marriage. Lessons learned. Since their remarriage, Judge Judy and Jerry Shinlin have enjoyed a successful and lasting marriage. They have now been together for over 47 years, including their brief divorce in the early 1990s. Their relationship, which has weathered the storms of loss, grief, and personal challenges, is a testament to the power of love, resilience, and communication. In interviews, Judy has shared some of the secrets to their successful marriage. One of the key aspects, she believes, is the importance of maintaining individual lives outside of the relationship. She has often said that spending 24 hours a day together can be detrimental to a marriage. Instead, she and Jerry have always pursued their own careers and passions, ensuring that they maintain a sense of individuality while remaining committed to each other. Another important element of their marriage is physical attraction. Judy has spoken candidly about her admiration for Jerry's good physique and how it has helped maintain the spark in their relationship. Despite the inevitable changes that come with aging, she believes that staying fit and healthy can help couples stay attracted to each other. But perhaps the most important lesson they've learned is the significance of communication and support in a marriage. Judy has emphasized that couples need to be there for each other, especially during difficult times. Her experience with grief and the strain it placed on her marriage to Jerry taught her the value of emotional support and clear communication. Judge Judy's first marriage. A bitter divorce. Before her marriage to Jerry Shinlin, Judge Judy had been married once before, to Roland Levy. Their marriage, however, was not as successful. Judy married Roland in 1964, shortly after graduating from law school. At the time, Roland was an attorney, and Judy, having just started her career, was focused on pursuing her professional goals. Despite their shared professional background, their marriage began to unravel as Judy struggled to balance her career and her responsibilities as a wife and mother. After giving birth to 2 children, Judy found herself becoming increasingly frustrated with her role as a stay-at-home mom. She had taken a break from her legal career to focus on raising her children, but after a few years, she realized that she wanted more. She returned to the workforce as a prosecutor, but her demanding job only served to widen the gap between her and Roland. He viewed her career as a hobby, and their constant arguments led to the dissolution of their marriage in 1976. Following the divorce, Judy became a single mother and took on the challenge of raising her children while also pursuing her career. It was in this period of her life that she met Jerry Shinlin, and they began a relationship that would ultimately lead to a successful marriage.